This video was supposed to be a getting started with MUI tutorial. Instead, it's going to be a rant. I'm going to call out things that suck. I'm going to call people to higher standards. I'm going to set realistic expectations for Amiga programming newbies. And finally, I'm going to show you the simple solution to the thing that triggered this rant. So here's the backstory. I was working on code for a basic Hello World MUI program. As usual, I scour the internet for existing tutorials, examples, code, information that I need to do the best job I can. I'm doing the exhausting stuff so you don't have to. Anyway, then I started writing code and almost immediately I hit the first problem any Amiga MUI newbie is going to hit. And that is this. While the AmigaOS 4 SDK says that it includes MUI 5, it's not integrated. It's just been plonked in a separate directory. So the header files are not where all the other header files are. It's not in the compiler's search path. So when you try to build your MUI code, it says that it can't find the header files. To make matters worse, the cross compiler that I set up in previous videos, that one puts the MUI 5 files in a different location. So there's no common location to go find the files. They're not integrated into the SDK properly. There's no reliable way for me to be able to use them from a project in such a way that you can just download the project and build it so that it works out of the box. Guys, if we want more developers on the platform, then we need to make things easy. Make it easy for people to get started. Adding friction is a good way to scare people off, to send them running for the hills. Now, sure, this small problem is easily worked around. Just copy the files or add that directory, include directory to the search path. But it's just one of thousands of little problems that get in the way that add up to a big frustrating mess. I'm having a deja vu feeling. With C2FTP server, these little Amiga specific problems added up to, I would say, over 6 months of delays in releasing Z2FTP. That's a lot of developer energy and time down the drain because of these little problems. Not everyone has that level of endurance. And this is how dreams die, killed by thousands of little paper cuts. Now, to be fair, part of our problem is we have a small user base and an even smaller pool of developer talent. So that just means there's going to be more rough edges and the code is going to be less well tested. It just hasn't been exercised as much. This includes some of my own projects. However, that's no excuse for sloppiness. Integrating MUI into the SDK properly so that things just work is trivial. There's no excuse for this kind of thing. Right? So Amiga developers, please try harder to make things work right, to make things easy for both the users and the developers. Right? Not everybody is as experienced and knowledgeable as you are. And collaborate with others. Don't just work around problems in other people's code. Make sure that the root cause gets fixed. Submit bug reports if you have to. All right, let's work together to turn these thousands of little problems that just get in our way and reduce it as much as possible, preferably at least into the hundreds range. And new developers, please have patience. As I say, it's rough around, software's rough around the edges, which creates a lot of opportunities for you to improve things, to make things better. Speak up when you encounter difficulties because you can highlight problems that you find that us veterans are so used to, we don't even see them anymore. Back to MUI. The solution to the problem that triggered this rant is actually quite simple. What I've done is I have taken MUI's header files and I've put it inside a third-party subdirectory in my project. So third-party/MUI/include, that's where all the header files are. And then over in my make file, I add that subdirectory to the compiler's include search path, which means that the compiler can now find it, so that when we build it, everything works. I shouldn't have had to do this because the files are supposed to be in the SDK, but whatever, it works, we can move on. And this is actually how I handle all third-party dependencies, or tend to handle them. I like to, third-party dependencies that are not included in the OS SDK, I like to include them in the project repository itself so that way anybody who has source code can build it out of the box No messing around with developer configurations or hunting down dependencies. So next time I'll show you, I'll have the tutorial that I was actually planning on doing. So I'll show you how to build your first MUI program. Video should appear over there. That's it for now. I'll see you next time.